There we go. Can't believe I'm running out of... There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Usually I have to be very careful during Mercury retrograde to make sure that there's a good sound check. So I apologize for those of you out there on YouTube who had no sound there for a minute. My apologies. So welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. I didn't say anything important up until now. So here we go, guys. First thing that comes out, Lover's card, conflict. So a lot of people seem to think that the Lover's card is a good sign based on what they think they see on television. TV doesn't show you shit when it comes to the proper way to be looking at the tarot cards. Like Devil card's not all that bad. Death card's not all that bad. Lover's card isn't all that great. So the first thing that you have is the Lover's card. Lover's card next to the Tower card. For those of you on my other social media platforms, come on YouTube and you can see the picture-in-picture if you want to see a progression of the cards there. So Karma on Deck over there on YouTube. So I have the Lover's card. So usually that's a positive and negative affect, or the divine feminine, divine masculine. It's like a tango, right? The conflicting energy coming into balance. So depending on the cards lying before and after, it'll tell us what kind of energy we have in regards to like that dynamic, right? So it's this great big tango, and we have the Tower. So this tells me there's a power struggle. We have the Five of Wands, which is feeling backed into a corner. So this card right here, he's got these little snakes, and these snakes almost, they're not exactly like criticism, but this is literally feeling like you're backed into a corner. You also have the Devil card. So this may be someone lying to you, someone not telling the truth, someone quite possibly being, or maybe even yourself and your habits. Maybe this is having something to do with a substance or an addiction, right? So not all the time is it chemical. Sometimes it can be behavioral addictions or things or habits that are holding us back. We have the Four of Wands, which is balance and structure and foundation. So as the Four of Wands, you're building a structure and trying to fill it with the good things, but there's a lot of elements that are in play here that are keeping you from it. I see the Four of Cups, which tells me you're going outside of your circle of people to find these solutions. Definitely Gemini is doing the big thing. They're doing the Page of Wands, which is study, research, gathering data, making sure you have enough information, making sure you are gathering all of that. But right now, Gemini is feeling a strong sense of tension. There is the Judgment card. So Judgment is a three-headed dragon. Okay, there's even an anvil, like you strike the iron, right? This is that kind of energy that's going on. Gemini, you do have the Death card too. So the Death card is like change. So there might have been some drastic change that it's occurring for you, that maybe you choose or didn't choose, and it was chosen for you, because the Death card is one of those things where things flip on a coin, like automatically the whole world changes on a dime. So we have the Ten of Swords, which is definitely feeling restricted in a lot of ways and caged in, and feeling as if you can't make any moves in certain directions because there's some requirement over here that prevents you from going here, or something that's like a fence around you and sharp edges. It just feels like you get kind of poked in every direction. So major energy going on for Gemini right now. We have the Lover's card, which is that dynamic of, like I said, conflict a little bit with the Tower. So you're really feeling as if things are kind of falling apart. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Sam. So you have this deep emotionally seated events that are going on for you. You have the King of Cups. So you have to take leadership in a lot of roles in regards to your emotions right now. Four of Cups, seeking outside for support. Four of Wands has to do with your home, your foundation, your livelihood, your protective, your homestead, like where you spend your most time. So I'm going to point out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to count one of them, maybe more, might be 7. So Lovers, Tower, Devil, Death, High Priestess, and Judgment. So Gemini is feeling on the hot seat right now. Now I'm going to add the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is the top of the deck, so to speak. It's the pinnacle of that suit. So the Ace of Swords kind of feels like a major card depending on where it shows up. And it is showing up next to the Empress. Like I said, come onto my YouTube and you can see the picture of these cards. So right here we have the High Priestess, which is all about intuition. And you have a decision to make. And the Judgment card is in play. And then you have the Nine of Coins, which is documentations, collaborations, mediation, anything like that. And right now, Gemini is very afraid to pull the trigger on just about anything because everything's been so mercurial and changing, right? So you have the death card. So very much so resistant to change right now. So there is this, the death card means things are flipping on you, like unexpectedly. Okay. So on the back end, the Gemini that we know and love, Vanessa, Miss Moxie, we have the Page of Wands, which is study, learning new things, finding data, looking to see if the knowledge is there, finding reason in the storm, so to speak. But with the Judgment card, you're definitely, like I said, the Five of Wands feeling backed into a corner, and the Judgment card, which is the three-headed dragon. So there's a lot of pressure on Gemini right now. So Vanessa is saying the death card is my favorite. Change is essential. I relish Mercury retrograde. I don't like it. Don't confuse my shit with my shit. I didn't say I like Mercury retrograde. I relish the opportunity to see what is beneath all the stuff that's coming up when, you know, the muddy water clears. Because you know what they say? I just posted something on my page, right? That says, I don't know, go look at it. It's somebody talking about how your ancestors about to drop this knowledge, and we're like, bring it, run it, I'm ready, right? So Mercury retrograde, like think of muddy water. One of my favorite coaching quotes is, muddy water is best cleared when you leave it alone. But this is the period in which things get stirred up, so we have an opportunity to see. A lot of times you just sit in the mess. Do you do anything with it? I always say it's wasted pain. If I'm going to hurt this bad, if this relationship is going to go south, if this environment is going to be sour, if this is going to be ugly, then may I at least learn from it. So as all of this is coming up, I have an opportunity to clear whatever's in the way. But you do have the Tower card, so there's a lot of that going on for you. So, Nine of Coins. Pay attention to the decisions that you're making and make them intuitive ones, dear Gemini. Ace of Swords next to the High Priestess. Learn what you got to learn. See what you're structured against. See what you're coming up against. I am going to pull some cards from my Mystic Dreamer. And for those of you that are Gemini Moon, Gemini Moon. This is how you think and feel and how you go get things. Is that right description? What's your moon sign? So this is for Gemini Moon. I used to do this as your relationship reading. However, it's entirely too complicated to do unless you're one-on-one. So book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. Come on my YouTube, like, subscribe, share. Tell me where you are in the world, guys, and how you feel your reading went. Here we go, Gemini Moon. Strength. So obviously, with everything that's going on with you based on your general spread, the Strength card is coming into play. And this has to do with you acquiring that inner strength and bringing it forward to take on the tasks that are necessary. I'm deeply curious on why we're getting the Justice card. We have the Justice card, the Judgment card, and the Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands, that has to do with contracts. So what I'm curious about is, since the Justice card is coming up, what's going to bring up legal energy? Okay. We have the Ten of Cups. Gemini very much doesn't want anyone to know their business right now. Gemini's going to put on a big, beautiful face. I'm going to be a Stepford if I have to, but if you know what's going on under the surface. Because Gemini has the Four of Cups, wanting things to go back to the way they used to be. Not liking what's in front of them. Can I just have that one cup? I don't want all these. I don't want all these things. I just want things to be gentle for a minute. Because you have the Strength card, which takes a lot of reserve. However, the Strength card tells us we are entirely capable. We have the skill set necessary, and that we are more powerful than any of the shit that's in front of us, and we know that. We're just not excited. So the Two of Swords is indecision. Trying to decide what it is you want to do. I don't feel like this is a permanent phase, and to the point where Gemini doesn't get stuck for very long. But we do analysis paralysis, and we do sit for a minute, and we decide. Unlike Libra, Gemini has a tendency to be adaptable and change and flow and be more fluid with it. I made up a word, fluid with it. So here's the thing that Gemini is feeling like they want to do. We have the Four of Swords, which is isolation, wanting to go into a hermit mode. As I say that, I look at the next card, which is Hermit. Gathering evidence, doing research, looking for knowledge. We have light, the Tree of Life, scrolls, crystals, magnifying glass, and books. So the Hermit mode with the Four of Swords is about taking this opportunity to isolate, recalibrate, and come back out like the Strength card is showing us that you will do and always do. So on the other side of all of this, we have the Three of Cups. We also have the Hierophant, which is, the Hierophant is all about intelligence, teaching. It's also the flip side of the coin, which is arrogance, stubbornness, pride. So as we have the Eight of Wands, there might be a little fatigue going on for you. I have the Nine of Swords, which references restlessness and sleep and inability to sleep, maybe some insomnia coming up. However, I have the Three of Cups for you. I also see a lot of this energy is not going to last very long. So maybe by the end of the summer, like July, end of July, beginning of August, we have the Seven of Pentacles. You're going to be reaping quite a bit of this energy, the storm that's about to clear. Let's pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients. Observation. No shit, Gemini. Observation. We're going to withdraw, sit back, chill out, take notes, make a decision. Aura. So you're paying attention to the greater. Guys, remember my favorite thing to say is the answer to all your questions is love. If you can find that spot in any kind of conflict or decision, you're on the right path. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I will be right on back here with Cancer in about 5 minutes. See you in a few.